The psychology of saving money. Level B. 2. Upper intermediate. Money is more than just paper or numbers on a screen. It represents freedom, security, opportunity, and even self-worth. That's why saving money is not only a financial skill, it's deeply psychological. To understand why some people save easily while others struggle, we need to look inside the human mind. 1. Why saving feels so hard. Let's start with an honest truth. Saving money often feels unnatural. Human beings evolved in a world where survival depended on immediate rewards, finding food, warmth, or safety right now. Our brains were not built for long-term planning or delayed gratification. That's why many of us prefer to spend money on something that brings pleasure today, instead of saving it for an uncertain future. Buying new clothes, a gadget, or a nice meal gives us an instant emotional reward. Saving, on the other hand, gives us nothing immediate. It feels invisible, a small number in a digital account. Psychologists call this tendency present bias. It means we value things that happen now much more than things that will happen later. For example, if someone offers you $100 today or $120 in a month, most people will take the $100 even though waiting would make them richer. That's the brain's emotional system winning over logic. 2. The emotional side of money. Money decisions are never purely rational. Every purchase, every saving goal, every budget choice is tied to emotions. Sometimes we buy to celebrate. Sometimes we buy to escape boredom, sadness, or stress. In psychology, this is called emotional spending. They glister. When we feel anxious or unhappy, our brain searches for something to make us feel better. Shopping gives us a quick dopamine hit, a small burst of pleasure, but that pleasure fades fast, and guilt often follows. This cycle can be dangerous for savings. Instead of building a safety net, we end up using money as emotional medicine. Understanding that connection between feelings and finances is the first step to changing our habits. 3. The role of identity and self-image. Another reason saving feels psychological is that money connects deeply to identity. For some people, spending means self-expression. I buy what reflects who I am. For others, saving represents discipline, control, and maturity. Interestingly, researchers have found that people save more effectively when saving becomes part of their identity. If you think of yourself as a saver, you act like one. If you think, I'm bad with money, that belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. This is called the self-concept effect. It's the same reason athletes perform better when they see themselves as professionals, not amateurs. When saving becomes part of who you are, it stops being a chore and becomes a natural behavior. 4. Cultural and family influences. The way we handle money is often shaped long before we earn our first paycheck. Our parents, friends, and culture teach us directly or indirectly how to think about saving. Some families talk about money openly, plan budgets, and reward saving behavior. Others treat money as a secret or a source of conflict. If you grew up hearing phrases like, money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy, it can subconsciously create negative emotions towards saving and wealth. Cultural values also play a huge role. In some countries, saving is considered a moral duty, a sign of responsibility. In others, spending and enjoying life are seen as more important. Neither view is wrong, but awareness helps. If you understand how your background influences your money mindset, you can choose what to keep and what to change. 5. The power of delayed gratification. One of the most famous psychology experiments related to saving behavior is the Stanford marshmallow test. Children were given a choice: eat one marshmallow now, or wait a little while and get 2 marshmallows later. The results were surprising. Those who waited often grew up to have better life outcomes, higher academic success, better health, and stronger self-control. Saving money works the same way. It's about resisting the small reward now for a bigger one later. But unlike children, we can train this ability. One method is to make the future feel more real. Instead of thinking, I'll have money later, visualize what that money will do: a trip, a house, freedom to quit a job you hate. The more vivid that image, the easier it is to resist the present temptation. 6. The mental buckets of money. Economist Richard Thaler introduced the idea of mental accounting, the way people divide their money into separate mental buckets. For example, we might treat salary, gift money, and tax refund as different categories, even though all of it is just money. This psychological habit can help or hurt savings. It helps when you use mental accounts intentionally. Emergency fund, travel fund, future apartment. It hurts when you use it emotionally. I can spend my bonus. It's not my regular salary. It's time. It's sale season. I'm actually saving money by buying this. By recognizing this bias, we can use mental accounting strategically, not impulsively. 7. Saving as a source of freedom. Many people think of saving as giving something up, but psychologists suggest flipping that mindset. Saving is not about restriction, it's about freedom. Every dollar you save gives you more choices later. It's the ability to say no to a bad job, to take time off, to help a loved one, or to invest in something meaningful. When you frame saving as gaining control, not losing pleasure, it becomes empowering rather than stressful. 8. The comfort trap. Lifestyle inflation. One of the biggest psychological traps is called lifestyle inflation. It happens when your income grows and your spending rises with it. You start earning more, so you buy a nicer car, move to a bigger apartment, eat at better restaurants. The problem? You don't actually feel richer. Your desires grow as fast as your income. This is part of the hedonic treadmill, our tendency to return to a baseline level of happiness, no matter how much we earn or spend. Understanding this helps break the cycle. True financial comfort comes not from buying more, but from needing less. 9. Fear and guilt around money. For many people, money triggers fear. Fear of not having enough, fear of losing it, or fear of making mistakes. Some even feel guilt when they start saving, as if they're being selfish for keeping money instead of spending it on others. These emotions often come from childhood experiences or social pressure. But emotional peace with money comes from recognizing that saving is an act of self-care, not greed. It's okay to build your own safety before helping others. As they say on airplanes, put on your own oxygen mask first. 10. Building the habit of saving. Saving money is not about a single decision, it's about repetition. Just like brushing your teeth or exercising, saving becomes easy only when it becomes automatic. Psychologists have studied habit formation for decades. They discovered that habits grow through 3 steps. Cue a trigger that reminds you to act. Routine the behavior itself. Reward the feeling or benefit that reinforces it. For saving, this could look like: cue, receiving your salary. Routine, transferring 10% to a savings account. Reward, feeling proud or visualizing a future goal. The key is consistency, not size. Even saving a few dollars regularly can rewire your brain to enjoy the process. Once the behavior becomes automatic, the effort disappears and savings start to grow without stress. 11. Automation, outsmarting your impulses. Modern psychology and technology work beautifully together when it comes to money. One of the most effective tricks is automation, setting up systems that remove daily decisions. For example, you can schedule an automatic transfer every time your salary arrives. This bypasses temptation. You never see the money, so you never miss it. Automation works because it reduces decision fatigue, the mental exhaustion that comes from making too many small choices. If saving depends on willpower, it will eventually fail. If saving is automatic, it becomes effortless. Some people also automate investments, not just savings. That's another powerful psychological tool. It turns long-term goals into predictable, emotion-free habits. 12. Visualization and emotional anchors. Money feels abstract, which is why saving for the future doesn't motivate most people. Visualization changes that. If your goal is to travel, print a photo of your dream destination. If you're saving for a new apartment, imagine waking up in it. Connect each saved amount with a real emotion. Psychologists call this emotional anchoring. It links a future reward with a current action, giving your brain the same dopamine hit that spending provides, but in a healthier way. You can also make progress visible. Try a digital progress bar, or even an old-fashioned jar with coins. Each small step becomes a micro-reward, encouraging your brain to keep going. 13. Loss aversion. How fear can work for you. Humans hate losing things even more than they love gaining them. This is called loss aversion, one of the strongest forces in behavioral economics. You can use it to your advantage. For example, open a savings challenge with a friend or partner. Promise that if you don't save a certain amount each month, you'll donate money to a cause you don't support. Suddenly, the idea of losing becomes motivation. Apps like StickK use this principle. They make you commit money to your goals, turning psychological pain into positive action. Fear of losing becomes a powerful tool for self-discipline. 14. The future self technique. One of the hardest parts of saving is connecting with your future self. Neuroscientists found that when people think about themselves in the future, their brains react as if they're thinking about another person. That's why it's so easy to say, "I'll start saving next month." To your brain, that's someone else's problem. The solution? Make your future self feel real. Write a letter to your future you. Visualize what your life will look like in 5 or 10 years, what you'll thank yourself for. Every time you save, remind yourself, "I'm taking care of my future me." This small shift transforms saving from sacrifice into self-respect. 15. The reward system. Saving doesn't have to be boring. One common reason people fail at saving is that it feels restrictive and joyless. But the psychology of motivation shows that positive reinforcement works far better than punishment. Set small milestones and reward yourself for reaching them. For example, after saving $100, treat yourself to a movie. After $500, buy a small item you've wanted for a while. After $1,000, plan a small trip. This creates a loop where saving feels good, not painful. Over time, your brain begins to associate saving with achievement and satisfaction. 16. Social influence. The hidden power of community. Humans are social creatures. We copy what others do sometimes without realizing it. That's why social comparison can affect your finances, both positively and negatively. If you constantly see friends showing off expensive things online, you may feel pressure to spend more. But if you surround yourself with people who value minimalism, investment, or financial freedom, your habits change naturally. Some people join online saving challenges or post monthly progress updates. Public accountability can be a surprisingly effective motivator. It adds a social reward to private discipline. 17. The myth of "I'll save when I earn more." Many people believe they'll start saving once they have a higher salary. But research shows that this rarely happens. When income increases, so do expenses. That's lifestyle inflation again. Saving doesn't depend on how much you earn, but on how you behave with what you have. The best time to start saving is always now, even if it's a tiny amount. It's not about numbers, it's about building identity and habit. 18. Emotional triggers and spending traps. Marketers know more about psychology than most people realize. Stores use scent, color, and music to trigger emotions that make you spend. Online shops use limited offers, countdown timers, and free shipping to create a sense of urgency. Recognizing these emotional traps is part of financial self-defense. Whenever you feel a sudden desire to buy something, stop and ask, "Why do I want this right now? Would I buy it if I had to wait 24 hours?" This pause interrupts the emotional impulse and gives your rational brain time to catch up. 19. The freedom mindset. From scarcity to abundance. Many people struggle with saving because they see money as something scarce, something they lack. Psychologists call this the scarcity mindset. When you focus on what you don't have, you make emotional, short-term decisions. Instead, shift to an abundance mindset, believing that saving builds future opportunity, not limits present happiness. When saving feels like creating options, not losing pleasure, motivation grows naturally. This mindset makes saving a creative act. You're designing your future freedom. 20. Teaching the next generation. Understanding the psychology of saving isn't just about personal benefit. It's also about passing on better habits. Children learn about money mostly by observing adults. If they see parents arguing about finances or spending impulsively, they copy that behavior. But if they see budgeting, calm discussions, and delayed gratification, they learn financial confidence early. The next generation can grow up viewing saving not as sacrifice, but as empowerment. 21. The balance between saving and living. There's a fine line between healthy saving and obsessive saving. Some people become so focused on the future that they forget to enjoy the present. Psychologists warn that extreme frugality can lead to guilt or anxiety when spending, even on essential things. The healthiest mindset is balanced, saving one that allows joy today and security tomorrow. Ask yourself, will this purchase make my life meaningfully better? Am I saving out of fear or out of purpose? Money should serve your life, not control it. 22. Final thoughts. The emotional reward of saving. Saving money might start as a financial goal, but it ends as an emotional transformation. It teaches patience, discipline, and self-respect. It helps you sleep better at night, knowing you can handle surprises. And it gives you the quiet, powerful feeling of freedom, the ability to choose, not just react. In the end, saving isn't about denying yourself. It's about becoming the kind of person who values the future enough to plan for it. It's not about greed, it's about growth. The psychology of saving is, in many ways, the psychology of self-trust. When you save, you're not just keeping money. You're proving to yourself that you believe in your own future.